So this is the podcast where I don't know if you heard of one. We just ask about your creative journey because I think, well, I'm interested about your events. I think you do different things.
I'm a graphic designer, do a little bit of photography as well. And yeah, those are like my main areas.
Perfect. So I'll just see like you do, you're multi-talented, you have a multi-portfolio of things that you do.
Yeah.
And events and talk about your graphic. Is that what you trained to be a graphic designer, or did you just pick that up? Or
Okay, funny story. Basically, in secondary school, I studied graphic products. But then after studying graphic products, I was like, what industry can I go into that's still design, but will bring in obviously the most money? So I thought of architecture. And to be honest, I just thought like, what's the highest level of design I could reach or get to study? So that's why I chose architecture. So I studied architecture at uni. And then after studying architecture, I was looking for obviously part one roles, but it was super hard. This was, I think, just before the pandemic hit. So I graduated in 2019. So I was like, nothing's coming through the door. So I need to just move on to something else and just be open-minded. So that's basically the route I took. I was just open-minded, refreshed my portfolio. So I literally added obviously graphics, photography, and all the different skills that I have to offer. So yeah, I was just applying to different design roles. And then, well, I got a role as a junior designer at a marketing influencer agency. So that's where I work at now, full time. So yeah, but then I still do my photography on the side, just, you know, if anyone comes through and they like help on a shoot or something, then I'm always open to help. And I also started my YouTube channel.
Okay, content creation, okay.
I'm gonna try a little something. So yeah, that's basically like a different type of outlet that I'm trying to be consistent with. I mean, I'm trying to come back with consistency because I've taken like a long break, but I think it's, I can see that something is there. So that's why I want to keep, you know, going and keep trying, basically.
Understood. So if I had to give you like a sentence and say, how would you describe your creative practice? What would you say?
I would just say multi-disciplined, because I guess I have learned so much in just wanting to be a designer that I've gone into so many different areas of design or of like the arts, even like performing arts, acting, like that's what I've done in secondary school and in A-level. So I've just always been creative. So I've never wanted to like label myself as one type of like standard name or like been in the box. Like that's never kind of what I want to do. Even if I do end up specifying the type of design that I go into, I still want people to know that like there's still other branches that I have to offer or that I can produce, which is, I feel like, a power of mine. Like I can be flexible, and I like to, well, one day I might like to do, I don't know, photography, next day graphics, next day video. Just, I like to be, you know, just let it flow. And I feel like that's how creatives can be or can exercise their skills and be more creative rather than sticking to one thing. And other things influence that one thing. So
can you give an example of how one thing influenced the other?
Yeah, so, okay, for example, let's say you do photography, but because you have different skills in graphics or typography or in video making, all those things that you like get from the other skills or the other disciplines, you can put into when you take a picture, for example. Like you can think about lighting, you can think about composition, you can think about layout, you can think about like the model, like you can think about so many different things. Whereas if you was just studying photography or had your focus on photography alone, you wouldn't be able to pull from those like different parts. or maybe you would, but it'll just take you longer. So I feel like because I've infused so many different things into like what I do, it hasn't taken me long to, I guess, master or be somewhat good at what I do. So because I've done so many things for such a short, well, I wouldn't say, short relative compared to other people, it influences like my output, my work output. So like, for example, I don't know if you've seen, but I've done a photo shoot for my friend who was pregnant, so a maternity photo shoot. And I really enjoyed how that went and how it turned out. But I think it's because like I've never done that ever before. Like, and it's when you're shooting someone pregnant, it's different from when you're shooting just a regular, like, you know, model. So it's interesting how that shoot came out and how like well it turned out to be, because I guess I pulled from my experience of what I've learned before in even video or like graphics or like when you position a body, when you're performing, you need to be able to face the lighting in the right way or like from the right angle. And obviously because you're photographing the stomach most of the time, you need to really like make sure that is in line with the mother's like body as well and in the right composition. So yeah, it's just different things that you can really pull to make sure your work comes out the way you want it to come out.
Okay. So tell us how you manage different like multi-disciplines, because it sounds like a lot. So you have photography, you have your events, you do your graphic design, you work for influencer agency, marketing agency. How do you manage your time? Talk about how do you do all the time planning and organization.
Oh, well, I'm still working on that because it's hard. It is difficult when you are trying to manage so many different things. But I feel like when you have a passion for it, you make a way. There is a way to fit so many different things into one day. And when you don't want to do just one thing, your brain like before you finish that one thing that you started doing, your brain automatically jumps to the next thing. Okay, I don't know, let me take a picture once I finish this layout or something. So like, it's not even the fact that I kind of willingly, I guess it is, but like my brain just doesn't want to sit down in one position. Like it just goes to different things. So I'm just like, okay, let me do this now. So yeah, I think it's just like, if that's what your heart desire like wants, it'll automatically just travel to different places. So I guess in terms of time management, I'm not very structured at the moment. Like there's no structure to what I produce, obviously, apart from the 9 to 5 that I have, which is why I took the long break off YouTube, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, when can I film in bulk? Like when can I do multiple things at a time? Because I don't have time, like most of my day is gone. So even like during this break that I took, I'm trying to fit as much content I can within the week so that I can just churn out content. But then again, it's also like, when do I have time to put into being creative or being more like free with my work? Because when you have a structure, it's not fun. It's just really not fun. It turns into work. So I try not to make it so daunting on myself and be too like structural or rigorous, because that's when it's just not fun anymore. So yeah, I just try to go where the wind takes me. I'm very, very free.
Very, very, very free. Okay, so we talked about your content, we talked about the graphic design and your photography.
Yeah.
Tell me about how do you get into events and what type of events you do?
Yeah, okay. So this is a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. So basically, a group of us started this business in 2017. So this was when we was all in university. I think we just started university, first or second year. And we all just wanted to do something that was different. And we never saw women in the events industry, like planning events, managing events, or Black women, I should say. And we just thought the events we was going to, it just wasn't up to par. It was just like, DJ here, everyone dance, that's it. There's no like structure, there's no, I guess, intent to the type of events people were throwing. It was just like the party scene, the party, I guess, time. There wasn't like many networking events. There wasn't different type of events that people was planning and managing. So I guess if, for example, well, I'm Nigerian, so the parties that I was going to was just a regular like African hall party. There wouldn't be any like creative things that people would put into the event that would make it, oh, interesting, something new. So we kind of just wanted to be like a fresh face in the scene and start something new and bring people together.
What brought new? Like, so I guess you created, you had an idea and concept. Could you describe what sets you?
Yeah, so the concept that we basically had was to bring like-minded people together in one space and make it a positive vibe, not just to dance and listen to music, but also to learn something new and to meet new people. So if it was, for example, a rave or a disco or a party, for us, it would be more so, okay, what different types of DJs can we bring into the scene? So again, upcoming DJs, we would bring into the scene and bring into our events so that they would be known by other people in the industry as well who would want to throw events. So I wasn't really a uni party babe, but I kind of still wanted to go to events that I could meet new people and I can network. So I guess we wanted to provide a variety of different events. So right now we do all types of events. We do baby showers, we do hall parties, we do networking events, launch events. So I guess it's like another way for me personally to break from staring at the screen 24/7. I guess that's why coming back to 5 of us, sorry, not 5, literally like 10 people, and then gone down to 5, then gone down to, well, 2 of us now. That is a whole thing, but everyone wanted to prioritize something different within their journey, in their lives. And also as the pandemic hit, it was just like, okay, where do you go from here? Do you want to stay? Do you want to carry this on? Like, do you still see the vision? Do you see this events business in your life 5 years down the line? And the 2 of us that is doing it right now, we just thought, well, what are the odds? Let's just carry on and see, because I couldn't see my 5 years of work go down the drain without any output or something to say, this is what I've done and be successful. And I don't give up easily. So it was like a challenge, or I guess a challenge for me to be like, okay, let's carry this on. Let's see where it can go. Let's see where it can take us. And I haven't seen like other people do it the way we have come back into the scene to do it. So now we have rebranded. We was Sour Entertainment before. Now we are A Moment with Sour. We are soon going to drop the with Sour name out of the name, just to be fresh and clean. And a moment is just like, a moment in time is priceless. It's going to be memorable. You're not going to forget the experience that you had at one of our events, because that's how amazing it's going to be. And you're going to remember us speaking to you, having that conversation, and you're just going to meet new people. It's going to be a whole different vibe. So now that the rebrand has happened, we started with this first event, which is similar to a retreat, but it's called Escape the Noise Experience. And the concept is basically where people need to prioritize rest. So in our society, it's work, 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 go, go, go. Especially in London, it's like the hustle and bustle of life. And people don't really take the time to rest and to relax. And I feel like, especially in like our community, it's a luxury to rest. Like, it's a luxury to take holiday. Yeah, it's a luxury to take time off. And the only time you take time off is to go back home and go and stress your life out with people asking you for money, people asking you for different things. And it's just like, when are you gonna prioritize your own health? When are you gonna take time for yourself and pamper yourself and self-care? And I feel like that's kind of what the pandemic is what inspired that whole concept of like taking time out to rest and having other people do everything for you. So you literally stay at a beautiful, luxurious like venue with your own room or with your room shared with someone else. And we have different conversations. You have a spa day, you have a fitness class where you have a yoga stretch, and you have a private chef cooking for you. So it's this whole like, this whole luxurious.
In England or?
Yes, in England. So yeah, we literally like encourage people to take time off and rest because it's so important. I think all of us we learned something new during the pandemic, and it's something that we really need to prioritize: wellness and self-care and rest, and a good balance. I mean, obviously people love to work. Some people like, it's just what they want to do or what they're used to doing. But once they take that break, like you'll see it's so much of a difference after the break when you come back, because it'll be like a new start, a refreshing start. And you would have learned something new as well during your stay. So yeah, tickets are now available on our website. It is October, so the 20th of October. We're going to see if we can start from Thursday, but at the moment it's from Friday, so 21st of October this year. So yeah, tickets are out.
Cool. So you was talking about doing the event. It happens in October. Amazing.
Yes. So if you're interested, cop your ticket at www.amoment.uk.
Perfect. So as we come to a close, we're rounding up. Okay, we all talked about you having different kind of like a portfolio of creativity, a portfolio of careers. What is like the best kind of testimonial, what people said about your event, your graphic design, your organization, your photography? What was the best kind of thing what someone said about your work?
Ooh, I think it's how, like, the quality of my work. And I think people pick up on that because I do so many things. Like, maybe it's hard to believe that the quality can be good for everything that I put out. But yeah, I think the main thing that people, what I hear consistently is like the quality of the work, and that really like, it brings me joy because I don't, even though I do so many different things, I always make sure that I put my like 100% or at least maximum percentage into what I put out, even if it takes a while. But that's like, consistency is also what YouTube is teaching me. And I feel like that's the main reason why I actually jumped on YouTube, is to master the skill of being consistent and not maybe like focusing too much on the quality of the work or being too hard on myself on like how good the work is. But I think, yeah, the like most brought up word is quality of work that I produce. So I'm really happy that people can see that the time put in is worth it, and people can see the quality that that I'm bringing within my work. So I'm really, really happy about that.
Understandable. Well, thank you for being, honest and sharing your processes. Where can we find you? Obviously, you're going to put it in the show notes, but where can we find you?
Thank you for having me. This has been cool. I think this is my first like podcast. So yeah, people can find me on Instagram at miss.o.o.o, so Miss Triple O, and you can find me on YouTube, Triple O. If you type in Triple O, it should come up. And subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 1K before the end of the year, so let's go. But yeah, that's where you can find me, and you can also find our events coming up on our website, www.amoment.uk. So, and on Instagram with that as well. That's amoment_UK.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, like letting us know the process and success of what you're doing right now.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a dream, and it's great to see someone doing multiple things, because I feel like I'm in kinship with you. I do multiple things, but you just got to do what you have to do in this life. You just got to do, and you know, you produce quality work. So thank you very much. And as always,
thank you.
I'm the Black Creative Handbook. We'll speak soon.